Good evening and welcome to what would be considered our local World Championships. And just flicking up through the field now. We had a really good turnout tonight in that we've got around about 95 riders on the start line. We'll just click ourselves right way up to the front of the field. These riders have already crossed the start finish line and are now heading out onto the Richmond, sorry, the Richmond circuit. Like I say, we have a really strong field. Quite a lot of the riders that started last week are returning again this week. We have Harry Robson there from TS Racing, who put up in a really good performance last week, and also we've got Bill Steele from Army Racing, put in a good top 10 finish last week. A few of the younger guys a bit further back down the field, we've got Ben Etherington from Stockton Wheelers there. Quite a few new names on the start line for today. As you know, most people choose to run deep sections if they've got them, getting every little bit of aero advantage that they can get. This course is quite undulating. There's Adam Brooks there, with the yellow banner just above his head. Quite a large group around him. And Cleveland Wheelers riders there. And then there's somebody got the Cervelo P5X there, spending some big money on Zwift. Lovely aerial shot. Terry Burles from Sub Rossa, running at 4.5 kilowatts per kilo. And Ben White from Stockton Wheelers. And we look back down the field. Currently on a 5% climb, just heading out of Harrogate and Richmond. Obviously this was the smaller circuit, the small loop that was used in the 2018 UCI Road World Championships. Jason Wilson from Manilla, obviously the host club Manilla, putting in a good turnout of riders. Quick jump back to the front. These guys have already crested the hill and are now on the descent back to the front of the field. These guys doing 68 kilometers an hour on the descent. That's Bill Steele just below the camera there. The aerial shot. This is Matthew Cole from Triology Man Health on the S-Works with the zip wheels. Setting into his rhythm of about 5 watts per kilo. There's the yellow line of Adam Brooks in the distance behind him. Obviously this goes from banner to banner, so they had a very short run in at the start, around about 100, 200 metres into the start, depending on where they started in the gate. And then the time is taken from the start-finish banner, and it's one complete lap, 14.8k. Very short, sharp one. Couple of little ups and downs heading out through the Duchy estate. Drop back to Bill Steele from Army Cycling. Like I say, put in a good performance last week. He was definitely up there in the top 10. Looks like he's going to put another performance in this week. Obviously, this series runs over 6 weeks. This is the second week, so we'll get an idea of how people are performing, and maybe next week we'll have a bit of a front runners list of who to watch for, who to keep an eye out for. Quick jump back to Marcel Schubert. I believe Marcel put in the top performance from last week on Power Drive. Somebody likes his efforts today, giving him a couple of ride-ons there. Definitely one of the stronger performers in the field so far that we've had. As he just comes up to go past, I believe that's Harry Robson from TS Racing. These guys are still heading out on the Duchy estate part. They'll do a large square, head back into town before taking a sharp U-turn, and then they finish up on the main high street in Harrogate. The main high street is deceivingly long, and it's quite an uphill drag. Let's drop back to Howie Murray. Strong Kiwi from Manila, looking to put in a big performance and get himself up there in the top 5, top 10 of this event. Incredible athlete. Powerful Kiwi, wearing obviously all black. Go back to James Wilson again from Manila. And then back to Ewan Sanderson from Cleveland Wheelers, just catching up onto the wheel of Zoppi. But obviously on this, when the guys are riding the TT bikes, there's no benefit of Zwift and of drafting. It is literally man against the clock or woman against the clock. These guys are doing one complete lap. And on the right hand side you can see the green list here, which is not the actual finishing order or the start order, that's just the order they are on the road at present. We'll drop back to Mike Dalton. Riding his Zwift carbon TT bike with his zip wheels. And then just in the distance there you can see coming up we've got Ben White and Adam Brooks with his big yellow banner. We're coming up to the squirrel on the corner now, so they'll take a right turn here. You can see the profile in the top right hand corner of the screen, just rolling, everyone still together, quite a big group together. going to drop back to Adam Brooks there. Quite a large junior field there from NTR. Adam, obviously the event organiser, riding for Manilla Cycling. Team principal, and looks like he's looking to put in a big performance. I know he does favour this circuit, he likes this circuit. Newbury just taking the corner there, just behind Adam. And then Lee Ruggin, again riding from Manilla. In a strong performance, made it into the top 3 for the teams. Obviously, we've got a teams classification where the top 3 riders times qualify for that team qualification, that team classification every week, and they get released probably a couple of days after the event's taken place. They'll be up on the Manilla Facebook page and also shared by British Cycling North East. Craig Fairbairn from NTR. I must say there's some very dazzling socks out on circuit today. It'll be interesting to compare these times to see if anybody's actually ridden this circuit in real life, see what the difference in times between Zwift and against their real life times. These guys are around about 7.5 k's into the circuit now, so they're around about halfway. They'll be taking another right before they head back towards the town over a little humpback bridge. So the King of the Mountains, that takes them back towards the town. Out of the saddle, powering through. Drop back to Paul Best. Again, Paul just coming up into that the start of that little King of the Mountains climb. 1.2k at average 5.5%. They'll certainly know about it. They'll be biting the legs. I'll drop back to Jen McMahon, from Sub Rosa, one of the Sub Rosa riders in this field. We did release a graphic. There's the times just coming up on the left hand side there for the King of the Mountains climb. 2:35, 2 minutes 35 around about the times. You can see the first person that went through, I believe that was Marcel in top position, closely followed by Mike. I believe it's Marcel Chabert first, and then we've got Matthew Cole, Bill Steele, who took the top 3 positions up that climb so far. That's not necessarily to say that they're going to be the fastest over the day, but it gives a bit of an indicator of where people are sitting. See the names scroll through there. 5th place was Harry Robson, Ben Hetherington, Howie Murray went up there in 8th, along with James Wilson from Manilla in 9th. Steve Hanna from Manilla. A fantastic series for the last few weeks for the guys from Manilla, and also a few riders from outside of the club. Three Manilla riders very close together there, all riding around about 2.5 to 3.5 watts per kilo. All completed 8.5k of this circuit. Drop back there to Nick Priest, who is just behind Dave Jeffrey and Steve Hanna, further 12 seconds up the road. That was Jason Ratcliffe from Teesside Bags that had just gone through there between Dave and Steve. Just ending up the road there, putting a bit of time in. That was one of the NTR juniors who's just gone through. And then back to Colin Hogan just at the bottom, taking this climb, this little tiny little uphill, shall we say, rather than a climb. We'll just skip back to the front of the field now, see if we can make out where these guys are coming through. The times on the left hand side for the King of the Mountains are still very static. They haven't changed a great deal. Jump back to Adam Brooks. Taking this 6% climb as they head back into Harrogate. Obviously we will at some point come past the Zwift Draft House, which was actually there for the World Championship race. The Zwift actually took over one of the local small breweries, the micro breweries, and they were running events, races and everything like that from there. As you can see, they're around about 2.5 minutes from the finish there. Coming up, 12.7k they've done. So we've got Matthew Cole out at the front holding 5.8 watts per kilo, doing his 12.8k. Bill Steele in second on the list, and then Marcel Joubert currently sitting third in on the road. Like I say, these times are not their actual times, it's their banner to banner times that count, not their actual times on the road. Well, they're now just heading into Harrogate. We'll turn right, and then from there he'll start the drag up to the finish. We just passed the Zwift Brewhouse there. It was on the left hand side as they climb the bank, and then on the right hand side at the top of this bank they'll go past Betty's Tea Rooms and then into the start finish area where they will put in their final sprint to take them to the finish. 13.8k, not far to go now. They will start to get the countdown markers into the boards as they approach the tea rooms. There's Betty's Tea Rooms on the right hand side. A sprint finish to cross the line. We'll just drop back. There's Bill Steele, set himself. A new PR. Marcel Joubert just coming over now to take the finish line. And he's set a new PR of 19 minutes 39 seconds. That's from banner to banner, just to give us an idea. Currently on the left hand side there is our leaderboard. Howie Murray just coming up to the finish now in his all black suit. Nice overhead picture there of Howie. We'll get a nice flyby as he goes across the line. And it drops him into 5th position on the left hand side there. You can just see that he's going to go into 5th, and then James Wilson from Manila has dropped him into 8th position. And then Ewan Sanderson crosses the line, puts him into 8th position, bumps James down 1. This looks like it could be our top 10 riders coming in. We shall see how we get on. Crossing the line. Where does that slot him in? Oh, he drops into 12th, and then Charlton behind him drops into 13th. We've still got Bill Steele at the top, Matthew Cole, and then Marcel at the top 1, 2 and 3. Closely followed by Ben Etherington, Howie Murray, Barry Robson. This is Lee Rock from Manila. Just passing the draft house as he starts his climb. Looks like Adam Brooks has already crossed the start-finish line there to get his time. We'll get an idea of where he's finished as Lee crosses the start-finish line. Nice aerial view there of Benny's tea rooms as they pass that. Through the village square on the right-hand side is the green, and up to the start-finish area. As we watch Lee cross the finish and get an idea of where he slots into on the finish line. He drops into around about 26th position. We've got 2 Manila riders there, 19th and 20th. That would be Owen Newbury and Adam Brooks. Which way around, I am not quite sure. But it looks like we're getting a lot of PBs for these guys riding this. Lots and lots of PBs coming in. We'll cross with just a Steve Hanna now as he climbs the last section. He's sandwiched between 2 NTR junior riders at the minute. Can he catch the guy in front and prevent the one behind catching him? As he approaches the start-finish line, we'll find out where he slots in on the leaderboard, which will appear on the left-hand side. Crosses the start-finish line. Top 3 remain unchanged. Top 5, top 10 remain unchanged. Steve drops in at 39th. Like I say, with a field of around about 80, with a few more riders still to come. Dave Jeffrey just coming up the final straight again. I'm going to drop back to a couple of these NTR junior riders. Drop the Michael Teasdale. Just taking the corner into Harrogate. And turn right here. And then one more right turn. Currently out at 12.6 kilometres. Manilla Connor. Now he's just behind Michael. These guys are now approaching the right turn into the sprint segment, I believe, is round this corner. I may have already done this sprint segment. They'll now take a left turn. The descent to the roundabout at the bottom. Take a left turn and start the little climb up to the finishing corner, where they'll turn right. Past Zwift Draft House. These guys towards the back of the field. Coming up to the final corner. Take that left-hander, start the little climb as they get to the corner with the draft house just approaching. The cold brewery. Vanessa Cox riding for Manilla. Strong triathlete. Young Matthew Best from Manilla, from Manilla's youth section. A big performance, no doubt he'll be being coached by his dad, who will be stood alongside him with his arms folded, shouting out advice. Matthew's just taking the climb now up to the start finish area. %, the climb. Not what you want at the end of a TT. Certainly saps the energy from your legs. These guys are putting massive performances. Hopefully some PBs will be coming out for these guys too. We'll just stay with Matthew now until we get up to the start finish area. And he comes up past Betty's tea room on the right to take his last 150 metres, sprinting for all he's worth, going all out to get his time and post it on the leaderboard. Well done, Matthew. See where he slots in on the overall finish as he crosses the line now. Top 3 has changed slightly as people have logged off. Rather than Maddie. We'll drop back to Sophia Brooks as she's just coming up to the final section here. She's around about 12.7 k's into this ride. Out of the saddle, massive efforts for these young riders to be able to race against some of the more experienced riders that we have in the field. Good experience for them. Around about 2 or 3 riders left out on circuit at the minute. We'll watch young Sophia all the way to the finish now. Just taking the little steady way before she hits the ramp on the corner. On the corner, past. Now starts the climb up to the finish. Quite a steep little ramp. 8 and 10% in parts. You're going along Harrogate High Street. Just coming past Betty's tea room there with a green canopy as it starts on the right hand side in the corner. Opens out into the nice village green. Big effort for this 9-year-old girl. Top performance, just coming up to the finish line now. And a good picture of her as she crosses the banner and puts in her time. Well done, Sophia. That concludes this event. So we shall see how we get on with the results. They'll be posted, like I say, in the next few days. And we shall go and see where we end up.